That winter, I also slaughtered the old mountain goat we'd kept for 28 years. Grandma was so pissed, she just kept stomping her feet. Old man, this goat has been around so long it's basically ascended. It's got human consciousness now. How the hell could you kill it? Tonight, there will be visitors. We absolutely cannot let those things go hungry. I think you've lost your damn mind. We live halfway up the mountain and there's a blizzard out there. Who on earth is gonna show up? I didn't pay Grandma any mind. I hardened my face, picked up the cleaver and started skinning the old mountain goat. Grandma tried to yank the knife away from me, but she was too weak. No way she could overpower Grandpa. I pushed Grandma aside. Stop standing there with that sour face, I said. Go boil a pot of water. The mutton has to be stewed before dark. Old man, this goat has a weird energy. You can't eat it. Listen to me just this once. Give it a proper burial like you'd bury a person. Name it Clayton. Let it forgive us. Only then will this be settled. What the heck do you know? Look, it's almost dark. If you want to survive tonight, you do what I say. Grandpa said that, then ripped the goat's hide clean off. He hung the skin on the clothesline. Instantly, a thick, rancid smell of raw goat drifted through the yard. Grandma stood there frozen. She knew I had a stubborn, weird temper, and there was absolutely no stopping Grandpa. Grandma pulled me into the storage room to heat the water. She grabbed both my shoulders and said, Danny, you listen to Grandma tonight. We are not eating that mutton. Not a single bite. You do that for me and Grandma will take you into town, buy you fried chicken, buy you candy. Deal. I nodded and happily agreed. Seeing me agree, Grandma relaxed a little. Not a single bite, not even the broth, not one sip. Grandma, relax. I won't eat the mutton or drink the broth. I'm scared of that old goat anyway. When Grandpa was killing it, the way it looked at him, it wasn't like an animal looking at a person. It was like a person sizing somebody up. It didn't look like a goat at all. More like a human. The moment those words left my mouth, Grandma's face went pale. She pulled me into a tight hug and whispered in my ear, Danny, stay away from your Grandpa. I nodded. Got it, Grandma, barely. Had she finished when Grandpa came in carrying half a basin of mutton, his face and clothes smeared with the goat's blood. Old woman, is the hot water ready? Ready. Water's boiled. Grandma lifted the pot lid, steam rolled out in thick clouds. Grandpa dumped the half basin of mutton straight into the pot, then told Grandma, don't add any seasoning. No salt either. Nothing at all. Not a single thing. No salt. Who the heck can eat that? Grandpa frowned but said nothing. He turned and went back out to the yard. Outside, darkness was falling fast, and snowflakes were drifting down again. Grandma ladled the cooked mutton into a basin. The meat smelled amazing. I couldn't help it. I swallowed hard. Grandma caught me swallowing and snapped, Danny, not one bite. I quickly nodded. Honestly, Grandma was afraid I'd sneak a piece, so she led me outside. Grandpa was already standing in the yard. Old man, the mutton's done. How come nobody's shown up yet? They're already here. The second Grandpa's words landed, I heard footsteps at the gate. In the moonlight, I watched a woman walk into our yard. The woman's face was chalk white. Her eyes were completely shot through with red veins. Absolutely terrifying. If she hadn't had a shadow, I'd have sworn I was looking at a ghost. Grandma was startled by the woman's appearance too, but eventually she forced herself to smile politely and said, young lady, it's so late. What brings you to our home? The blizzard sealed off the mountain. I got separated from my husband. I saw a light on in the distance from the middle of the slope and walked toward it. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm starving. I was so scared I scrambled behind Grandma and clutched her coat for dear life. The woman pushed a smile onto her face. She took small, careful steps forward and said in a sing-song voice, Auntie, I'm so hungry. Do you have any cooked mutton? I want some. The way she said it wasn't a request, it was a threat. Grandma was shaken. She froze up for a moment. The woman was nearly right up in Grandma's face when Grandpa quickly stepped in front of Grandma and said, the mutton's in the pot. I'll go get it for you right now. In no time, Grandpa came out with the half basin of mutton. Steam was still curling off it. The woman took one look at it, paused, then smiled warmly and said, Uncle, half a basin isn't enough for me. I'm telling you I've been starving for 2 whole days. Grandpa gave her a cold look. That's all there is. Half a basin. He set the half basin right down on the ground. The woman suddenly dropped to all fours in front of the mutton and started snatching pieces with her bare hands and shoving them straight into her mouth. She chomped on the bones too. Big ones she couldn't crush. She just swallowed whole. Grandma's eyebrows pulled tight. She yanked Grandpa aside and whispered, Old man, I'm telling you right now, that girl does not look like a person to me. She looks like a hungry ghost. The second Grandma said that, the woman froze. She snapped her head up and looked right at Grandma. The look in her eyes was downright evil. She gave Grandma a slow, wide grin. Grandma panicked. She couldn't hold the woman's gaze. She turned to Grandpa. Old woman, go tidy up the west room. Let Melissa sleep here tonight. Old man, who is Melissa? Grandpa waved impatiently toward the woman. Don't ask so many questions, woman. Just go tidy up the west room. Grandma frowned, furious. Do you two know each other? Seeing Grandma getting angry, Grandpa got even more irritable. He actually shoved her. Go, now. The woman burst out laughing. Her laughter was hollow and echoing, like a ghost's laugh, weightless and bone-chilling. She had already cleaned the entire half basin of mutton and was now cradling the iron basin, licking up the scraps with her tongue. I'm not going. You go tidy it yourself. Grandma said that, then grabbed my hand and tried to walk us into the east room. Grandpa rushed over and blocked her. You go tidy the west room. Now, the way Grandpa said it was downright scary. Grandma didn't dare push back. She stomped off angrily. In a little while she came back out from the west room, furious. Robert, I am telling you, you are playing with fire. Before Grandma could even finish, the woman sidled up next to her, smiling pleasantly. Auntie, honestly, Robert is a moron. He's no good for you. You know what I think? He should just be killed. Out of nowhere, a sharp knife appeared in the woman's hand. She placed it right into Grandma's palm. Grandma took the knife. She stared at Grandpa with eyes like she was looking at her worst enemy. The woman circled around Grandma, whispering low and quick, kill him quick. A man like this is nothing but poison. The woman kept getting weirder. The things she was saying got darker and meaner. Her eyes were lit up with a red glow. She looked exactly like some kind of evil spirit. The west room's ready. You're staying one night, first light tomorrow. You head back down the mountain. The woman shot me a vicious glare, then turned and went into the west room. The knife slipped from Grandma's hand and clanged on the ground. Grandma blinked, confused. What just happened? I can't remember anything. Grandpa glanced toward the west room and said nothing. He ushered me and Grandma inside the east room. Once we were in, Grandpa lowered his voice and said, tonight, the woman in the west room is going to knock 3 times. First knock, she'll ask for Danny. She'll want Danny to come help fill up the water barrel in the west room. Absolutely not. Danny is not going out there at night. Who is that woman in the west room? What does she want coming to our house? I say we kick her out right now. Everything about that woman is off. Grandpa let out a long, heavy sigh. Old woman, if you want to live through tonight, you do what I say. He looked at me. Danny, when the woman in the west room asks you to fetch water, you fill that barrel. 3 buckets fills it. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, don't make a sound. 3 buckets, then you come straight back. No matter how much the woman tries to keep you there, you come back. Understood? 3 buckets, then home. Yes, Grandpa, I got it. The moment I said that, thud thud thud. Uncle, I'm thirsty. The barrel's empty. Can little Danny come fetch me some water? Grandma went white as a sheet. She clutched me so tight she might have cracked a rib. No, Danny is not going. I refuse. If Danny doesn't go, the woman will break in and none of us make it out of tonight alive. You old bastard, do you even have a conscience? That's our grandson out there. That thing in the west room is clearly wrong and you're sending our baby out there. Are you out of your mind? Another round of urgent pounding on the door. The woman sounded annoyed now. Uncle, I'm thirsty. Send Danny out to get me some water. Grandpa panicked. Before Grandma could react, he wrenched me away from her arms and shoved me toward the door. Danny, remember what I told you, now go. And just like that, he pushed me out the east room door and shut it behind me. It was freezing outside. The woman's hand landed on my shoulder. She smiled warmly. Danny, how old are you? As she said it, I caught a horrifying smell, rancid raw goat, and her eyes were identical to the old mountain goat's eyes. Locked on me, unblinking, dead still. My legs gave out completely. I crumpled to the ground. The woman laughed softly at my fear. Danny, how old are you? She was deliberately trying to get me to speak. I clapped both hands over my mouth and refused to make a sound. When I didn't answer, the smile drained off her face. She stared at me with this cold, flat look. My scalp was crawling. I turned my head away, got up off the ground and walked toward the well. The second I reached the well, the woman grabbed my shoulder from behind. Danny, wait. Don't rush to fetch the water yet. Come inside with me for a bit first. I've got candy for you. Don't be scared. I'm not going to hurt you. My heart shot straight up into my throat. My whole body was drenched in sweat. My clothes were already soaked through. The woman nudged my shoulder again, gentle this time. Danny, I'm holding a handful of caramels. Turn around and look. I ignored her. I dropped the bucket down into the well. The woman moved around in front of me. I squeezed my eyes shut. I couldn't look at her face, because just a second ago, I'd already seen her reflection in the well water. It was a twisted, shattered face, with 2 rivers of blood tears streaming from her eyes. I pulled the bucket up by feel alone, pure muscle memory, eyes still shut. Then I grabbed the handle and walked toward the west room. The woman followed right behind me. Near the west room door, I opened my eyes. The room was pitch black, not a single ray of light. I knew the water barrel was beside the west room kang. I was going to have to go all the way in. Danny, it's dark in there. Want me to turn the light on for you? She was trying to get me to talk again. I bit down hard and walked into the west room with the bucket. It was completely black inside. I had to feel my way forward from memory. What should have been just a few feet felt like it stretched on forever. I walked and still couldn't find the barrel. I was terrified, genuinely freaking out. Danny, I'm so thirsty. Give me a sip of water first. Her voice was urgent, frantic, like if I didn't give her a drink, she'd just take it. But Grandpa had said the barrel needed 3 full buckets. The water in the bucket wasn't for her. I kept groping through the darkness. Then my hand found the light switch. Yes, turn on the light, find the barrel, click. The second the light came on, I saw her. The woman was sitting on top of the barrel, staring at me with an expression like she wanted to eat me alive. I forced myself to walk up to the barrel anyway, poured the water in, grabbed the bucket and went back out to the yard. I looked back instinctively. The woman hadn't followed me out. I filled the second bucket, carried it in. The woman was standing inside, watching me with cold, empty eyes. I poured the second bucket into the barrel and rushed back out for the third. By the time I'd drawn the third bucket and lifted it up, the woman had walked out of the west room. but she wasn't following me. Instead, she walked to the clothesline and yanked the goat hide down. She carried it back into the west room. I didn't have time to think about it. I brought the third bucket in and poured it. The barrel was full. I turned to leave. The woman blocked my path. Danny, don't go yet. I'll use this hide to sew you a winter coat. Here, feel it. It's so soft. She held the goat skin out toward me and gestured for me to touch it. I put both hands behind my back and stepped away. Twice. The goat smell coming off her was absolutely overwhelming. I climbed up onto the kang, trying to escape through the window. The woman grabbed my ankle with an iron grip. Danny, stay here with me. Her voice made every single hair on my body stand up. I didn't dare provoke her. I climbed back down off the kang. The woman visibly brightened. She draped the goat hide around my shoulders and grinned at me. The way she smiled was the most unsettling thing I had ever seen. Then she pulled me into a hug and gently patted my back. Danny, I'm your mother. Just say it. Call me mom. Say it, and I'll take you with me. She started crying as she said it. She looked absolutely pitiful. Now I'd never seen my mother since I was born. I grew up on this mountain, but in my dreams, I thought I'd seen this woman before. I even thought I dreamed about today. I rubbed my head. My mind was a total mess. The woman saw I wasn't speaking and squeezed me tighter. Danny, wake up, sweetheart. I worked so hard to find you. Just say it. Say one word. Say mom, and I can take you home. Say it. Please say it. I stared at this crying, miserable woman. I don't know why, but I felt something ache in my chest. Without thinking, I lifted my hand to wipe her tears. Her face was ice cold. Cold as well, water in the dead of winter. Danny, just say it. Come home with mom. Your grandpa and grandma lied to you. You were trafficked. You don't belong here. Could this woman actually be my mother? Since the day I was born, I had never once called anyone mom. That word had lived buried inside me my whole life. I'd always wanted to say it, but never knew who to say it to. My lips trembled. I was just about to open my mouth. Cock-a-doodle-doo. A rooster crowed. I snapped out of it like I'd been smacked awake. My whole body lurched. I looked at the woman crouching in front of me. She had her mouth stretched wide open. She was staring at me with a look of pure, savage hunger. That was no mother. That was a monster trying to eat me. I shoved her as hard as I could and bolted for the east room. The woman screamed and gave chase. From behind me came a sound, something between a howl and a shriek, like nothing that should have come from a human throat. I ran for my life. By the time I hit the east room doorway, Grandpa yanked me inside and slammed the door. My heart was hammering so hard I thought it might burst. I was shaking from head to toe. If that rooster hadn't crowed, she would have eaten me alive. Grandpa, Grandma, she's not human. She's a ghost, old woman, Grandpa said. The woman in the west room is going to knock again. This time, she'll come looking for you. She'll ask you to help her sew the goat hide coat. Remember, 8 stitches only? Sew 8 stitches, then you come back. No matter what the woman does to try and keep you there, you come back. Grandpa, just now she was crying and saying she was my mom. She wanted me to call her mom. She said I'd been trafficked. I almost called her mom. It was only because of the rooster that I snapped out of it. Grandma stroked my hair and looked at me with this expression full of worry. Old man, what is all this? Are you hiding something from us? If you want to live, just remember what I told you. Before Grandma could answer, thud thud, there. Auntie, I'm cold. Come help me sew a coat. Old man, do I really have to go? Grandpa looked dead serious. 8 stitches. Then you come back, 8 stitches and you leave. What happens if I stay past 8? Grandpa's brow furrowed. He said quietly, you die horribly. Grandma's eyes went wide as dinner plates. I'm not going. The thing out there is a ghost. If I don't go, it can't literally walk through walls. Bang, bang, bang. Frantic pounding. Ma'am, hurry up. I'm freezing to death out here. Grandpa grabbed Grandma by the arm and started dragging her toward the door. No time, just do what I said. Make it through tonight and we'll never suffer like this again. Grandma hadn't even said a word before Grandpa shoved her outside and shut the door. From inside, we could hear Grandma wailing at the door. Robert, open this door right now. Grandpa sighed and paced, stomping with anxiety. I scrambled to the window and looked. Grandma had collapsed on the ground. She was screaming. The woman stood over her, tilting her head sideways, laughing at her, shoulders shaking with it. Grandma was petrified. She climbed back up and banged on the window glass. Old man opened the door. Let me in. Auntie, I'm your daughter. Don't you remember me? It's me, Melissa. The moment the woman said that, Grandma went still, like the soul had left her body. She slowly turned and faced the woman. Melissa, is that you? You're so cold, baby. Let me sew you a coat. Grandpa, she's lying to Grandma. Grandma's in danger. We have to let Grandma in. Grandpa sighed heavily. Your grandma's got a weak heart. Odds are this is gonna go badly. Grandpa, what do you mean? He put his hand over my mouth, silencing me. The woman had her hand on Grandma's shoulder, looking up at her with the most devastatingly pitiful expression. Mama, why aren't you saying anything? Did you forget about me? Grandma burst into tears. Melissa, Mama's sorry. Mama's going to sew you that coat right now. Grandma followed the woman into the west room. The west room light was on. I looked at Grandpa. His face was unreadable. Grandpa, what about Grandma? Danny, your grandma's been spellbound by the woman in the west room. There's nothing we can. Grandma has always been good to me. The thought of anything happening to her, I can't stand it. And I started crying crying. Grandpa, is there really no way to save her? There is, but it's dangerous. Grandpa, what is it? Danny, you're a pure-souled child. Only you can save your grandma. Go to the West Room when your grandma has sewn the 8th stitch. Break the spell, snap her out of it, and bring her back here. I stood there frozen for a few seconds. All I could picture was that woman's terrifying face. I was scared out of my mind, but I wasn't about to let Grandma die. Okay, I'm going. Grandpa pulled out a bowl of goat's blood. He rubbed the old goat's blood across my face. It smelled rank and metallic, truly disgusting. Danny, the moment your grandma hits the 8th stitch, you snap her out of it and bring her back. 8 stitches, not a stitch more. Got it, Grandpa. I walked out of the East Room. Snow was still coming down in thick, silent sheets. I went into the West Room. Grandma and the woman were both sitting on the kang. Grandma had a needle and thread in her hands, sewing the goat hide. She was already on the 6th stitch. I called out to her a few times. She didn't respond, like she couldn't hear me. I leaned in close and nudged her arm. Her eyes were completely blank, hollow like her soul had been scooped out. She kept murmuring, 7th stitch. Mama's almost done sewing, don't be cold. I looked at the woman. The woman shot me a slick, satisfied grin, smug as anything. Grandma, wake up. Come with me. Let's go. The second I said that, the woman's face transformed. She glared at me with pure hatred. I could barely breathe. Danny, turn the lights off. I've got candy for you. The woman's face was twisting, pure rage, but she didn't touch me. She was scared of the goat's blood on my face. That had to be it. While I was working that out, Grandma's eyes flickered, like she was trapped in a nightmare and fighting her way out. The woman noticed the shift in Grandma and immediately switched to a pathetic, trembling voice. Mama, don't stop. I'm freezing. Please, finish sewing. Her voice was hollow and haunting, but her face wasn't pitiful. It was vicious, monstrous, like a demon wearing a mask. Grandma, wake up. My little aunt has been dead for years. Grandma went blank again for a second. Then she lifted the needle and sewed the 8th stitch. The woman's face split into a grin. Mama, the coat is so warm, but the sleeve isn't quite right. Just one more stitch. I grabbed Grandma's hand and screamed. Grandma, that's 8. Wake up. We have to go. The woman leaned right into my face. She was staring me down with murder in her eyes. I didn't care. All I cared about was waking Grandma up. I grabbed her hand and pinched her, hard. Grandma snapped awake like someone had yanked her out of a dream. She blinked at me. Grandma, 8 stitches. That's it. Let's go. Grandma looked down at the hide in her lap, still stained with goat blood. She flung it across the room, grabbed my hand, and ran. The woman threw herself in front of Grandma. Auntie, the coat isn't done yet. One more stitch. Just one stitch and I'll let you go. Grandma looked the woman dead in the eye, said nothing, pulled me out of the West Room. The woman stood in the West Room doorway and watched us go, eyes like daggers. We got into the East Room. Grandpa wiped the blood from my face. He looked noticeably relieved. Once we make it through tonight, none of us will ever have to deal with this again. Old man, what does that mean? When morning comes, I'll explain everything. Grandma let out a tired, shaky breath. That was a close call. If it hadn't been for Danny, I'd be dead. Old man, is she going to come back again? She'll come. She's got one more visit. Old man, you better be careful. Before Grandma even finished her sentence. Knock, knock, knock. Uncle, my knife that I left on the rafter is missing. Can you help me find it? Grandpa thought for a second. Then he walked to the corner of the room, picked up an axe. Old man, what are you doing? Grandpa just said, dumb ghost. He opened the East Room door. In the moonlight, I could see that behind the woman, there was a shadow, the outline of an old mountain goat, standing perfectly still. Grandpa walked out with the axe and pulled the door shut behind him. It's in the West Room. Come with me. The woman's voice turned soft and coaxing, like she was luring him in. I pressed myself to the window. In the moonlight, the woman had her arm looped around Grandpa's shoulder. Grandpa's face was stone still as he walked steadily toward the West Room. A moment later, both of them went inside. Grandma's eyebrows were tight with worry. She couldn't take her eyes off the West Room. Then, the West Room light went out. Grandpa walked back out of the West Room. The woman came out right behind him. She was clutching at his arm, trying to pull him back. Come back inside. It's cold out here. Her face was monstrous. Only her voice stayed soft, like a female ghost putting on a performance. From behind his back, Grandpa swung the axe. He buried it right into the woman's neck, a sound that made your blood run cold. The woman's face contorted in agony. She tried to run. Grandpa pinned her down. He raised the axe and brought it down again, and again and again and again, over a dozen times. Grandma flung the East Room door open and rushed out. Old man, is it over? Is it done? Not yet. Tomorrow morning, the woman's husband will come to our house. Her husband is coming too? Then what do we do? First, bury the woman. Where? In the snow. Right here in the yard. Old man, leaving her in the yard isn't safe. We should carry her up to the back mountain and bury her there. Grandpa shook his head firmly. She has to stay in the yard. Grandpa was following some kind of set of rules. A protocol, moving exactly according to some instruction only he knew. Grandma pressed her lips together and said nothing. When the husband shows up tomorrow morning, just act like you never saw the woman. Cook up the other half of the goat, no salt. When the man arrives, give him the meat. If he asks about the woman, say you've never seen her. He'll search the yard himself. When he finds the woman, that's when we make our move. The next morning, just as dawn broke, a man walked into our yard. He was massive, built like a freight truck, face full of hard edges and mean lines. Hey old man, mountains snowed in, haven't eaten in 2 days. Bring me that mutton, now. He said it like it wasn't even a question. Grandpa carried out the half half basin of mutton from the storage room and set it on the ground without a word. The man sat right down on the ground and started shoveling mutton into his mouth with his bare hands. In about 2 minutes flat, the basin was spotless. Hey, I got separated from my wife.
You seen her?
Nope. The second the word left Grandpa's mouth, the man lunged forward, grabbed Grandpa's wrist and sniffed it.
Sniffed it. Like an animal. You killed my wife.
I can smell her blood on you. Grandma's face went white as paper. She opened her mouth, but Grandpa shot her a look.
Be quiet.
We live on this mountain. People pass through all the time. I honestly can't keep track.
Why don't you look around the yard?
Maybe you'll find something. The man's eyes rolled slowly from side to side. Then he released Grandpa's wrist. If I find her, not a single one of you walks away from this. He went into the east room and tore the place apart. Checked the rafters, checked under the kang, moved into the west room and did the same. Meanwhile, Grandpa grabbed a piece of the old mountain goat's sharpest bone from the storage room pile and started grinding it against a stone. Screech, screech. The grinding was loud, piercing. Old man, that's way too loud. If he hears that we're done for, don't worry about him. Right now, all he can think about is finding the woman. Right as Grandpa said that, the man walked into the storage room. He looked straight through us like we were invisible. He searched every inch of the room, even checked the rafters, then moved on to the west room. Grandpa finished grinding the goat bone to a sharp, wicked point and stepped out into the yard. The man came out of the west room with this slow, poisonous grin. Old man, where is my wife? How would I know? I told you I never saw any woman. The man's eyes went sharp with rage. Grandpa gave a little smile, like he was deliberately poking the bear. Honestly, I think you're full of it. I don't think you even have a wife. The second that landed, the man's face went dark. He pulled back his foot and kicked the snow figure in the yard. Crack. The blood-soaked snow exploded off, and the woman's body tumbled free. The man let out this inhuman howl of rage. Grandpa kept his face perfectly neutral. His right hand was behind his back, gripping the sharpened goat bone. Nobody here is walking away from this alive old man. The man lunged straight at Grandpa. Grandpa sidestepped, fast, barely visible, and drove the sharpened goat bone straight into the man's throat. The man staggered, swayed, toppled to the ground, and went still. Grandpa stared at the body for a long moment. Then he turned to us. Old woman, Danny, it's time you knew the truth. That mountain goat was no ordinary animal. He was a mountain god, a divine spirit, protecting every soul in this village. Every year, on the night the first snow falls, 2 evil spirits come down from the mountain. They deceive people. They claim to be starving and desperate for mutton, but what they truly want is to consume the living. The mountain god's spirit was the only thing powerful enough to hold those 2 spirits back. But this year, he was old, too old. He couldn't suppress them anymore. So the only way left was to use his own blood and bone as the weapon to destroy them. The mountain god himself came to me in a dream. He told me everything, every single step. This was his method, his sacrifice, and tonight it's finished.